Hello there. So I finally finished reading Thrawn Alliances, and my honest opinion of this book is that it's good, but it could have been better. Now let me explain. Timothy Zahn is one of my favourite authors. I, like many other Star Wars fans, love the Thrawn trilogy. And I am certainly happy that we're seeing a lot more stories of Thrawn now than what we used to see back in the day. And so, like the previous novel, simply called Thrawn, I definitely was looking forward to Thrawn Alliances. But I have to be honest, it could have been better. By no means is it a bad book. No, absolutely not. It's definitely worth a read. Having a team up with Thrawn and Vader is like every Star Wars fan's best dream come true. But it could have been done better. There were moments in the story where it was really starting to slow down a bit too much. Especially, well, before I carry on any further, there may be some minor spoilers, but I think you'll be okay. During the Clone Wars segments, because the story is essentially split into two stories. Anakin Skywalker and Thrawn working together during the Clone Wars era, and of course Vader and Thrawn working together during the Imperial era. And I must admit, when the Clone Wars segment began, it was really slow. And I'm not naturally a fan of the Clone Wars, that didn't really help. But it did pick up as the book went along. And when you started to get the interactions between Anakin Skywalker and Thrawn, they were really good. They were really good. I enjoyed the chemistry between the two of them, and it complements the interactions between Thrawn and Vader. But I don't know. There's something about this book. It's something there was something that was missing. I get the feeling though that perhaps this book should be a little bit longer than it was, but it's hard to really put my finger on it. I think what it is that when we heard about Thrawn Alliances coming along, there was huge expectations that you have a story where Thrawn and Vader are working together, and maybe that was partially part of the problem. The high expectations of such a fantastic team-up. And let me state again, this is by no means a bad book. It's a good story to read. It's just, in my opinion, it could have been better. But would I recommend this book? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're wondering why Thrawn and Vader are working together, well, I guess you're just going to have to read it. But to put it very, very bluntly, Palpatine senses a disturbance, and he sends his best admiral and his apprentice to go and search it out and investigate it. And whilst it had some great moments in the story did have some great moments, I think the pacing was perhaps just a little bit off in certain areas. But like I said, it's a good book to read. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't. This is almost a curious thing to say, but I wouldn't have huge, high expectations about it, because I think this is, like I said, this is perhaps, in my opinion, part of the problem, is that I think this book suffered from overly high expectations. But it's definitely worth a read if you're a Star Wars fan. If you are a fan of Grand Admiral Thrawn, you will enjoy this book. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.